Hello everyone, Scott JUA from Crucible Custom Props, Norfolk's Lab, and all the forums here. Today I have something a little bit different and special. This is one of Trooper Trent's Jedi training remote, floating, 100% floating training remotes. So Trent is local to me and a friend of mine and the brother of Devin who owned Blue Realm Prop Studios. And we work together, and Trent is always has been. I've met Trent a long time ago at the prop party, North Texas prop party, and we've been friends for a while. And when he started making these, I asked him. I said, "Hey man, can you build me one?" And of course, he's getting a lot of requests to build them. And he said, "Just here, I'll sell you the parts and do it yourself," because he knows I can do it. So and I thank him for the confidence to do that. So he showed me some tricks and tips to do it, and I bought some of his latest 3D printed parts, and they're fantastic. So I followed his lead and did this one. This one is for a friend of mine, and I'm doing one for myself. But this one I wanted to. So this one is using all his newest 3D parts. They're resin 3D parts, so they're super detailed, very, very nice. And I did a little extra work on the base to kind of customize it to make it look like the Falcon. But this is pretty much it. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. It's got a couple, so it's floating, it's using electromagnets to float. And this is also going to be partially the instructions for Nick, who's the owner of this. It has a couple different modes. It can just float with no lights on. Right here is a touch area to turn on the lights. So the base has lights, the blue lights that make it look like the Falcon, and then it has just the lights on the ball, and then the lights on the base and the ball. So it does light up and it does float. So it's pretty cool. Let me show you what it looks like. Well, it's daylight out, so it's not going to look dark, but you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like lit up. But I just wanted to show you guys. So let me zoom in here, and you can take a closer look at it. So as you can see, it's completely floating. It floats about, I don't know, maybe an inch, maybe about an inch off the base. So to do the base, I used the same kind of reefer white paint that was on the ball, which I suspect was what they used. And then I just made some masks of the Falcon panels and things like that. Let me turn my table down. And did just the weathering patterns that you would see on the Falcon, just to kind of give it that Falcon look, because that's where you first see the training remote, is when Luke is training. But that's pretty much it. This is going to be the part of the video that I'm not looking forward to the most, but it's important for anybody who gets one of these from Trent. This might help anybody who gets one of these from Trent, and also Nick, who is going to need to set this up. Now, I recommend, and what I'm going to do for my own, is get a battery backup that this plugs into. So if the power goes out, it doesn't just get sucked straight to the base and damage anything. Now, I've done a clear coat, a matte clear coat on this, so the paint should be fairly well protected. But, you know, if it crashes, it's still going to possibly jack it up, or the model parts on the bottom. So this is how you're going to set it up. When it's on, when you plug your base in, you want to make sure it's easier for me to turn it on to where the lights are going to be on the base and the ball, and that will help you give an indication of how close you're going to be. Really, you want to cup it under your hands. Let me zoom back out. You want to cup it under like this. So when it's coming straight down, you kind of hear that squeak. That means you're really close. Now, you don't want to let it go until you know it's centered. One of the tricks Trent told me was, if it starts to lurch one way, tilt the top that direction. Now these are a real pain to get set up. And you can't do it too long, or otherwise you risk burning out the base. So if you can't get it in a few seconds, about 20 seconds, then stop, try again, and keep repeating this process for just a couple minutes. After a couple attempts, if you can't get it, unplug it completely, let it cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then reattempt it. It does take a while and take some practice to do. Once you get it, though, you slowly let go, because if you let go before it's done, it'll just suck down to the base and crash. So that was probably the quickest I've ever done it right there on camera. It will spin either way. And one thing I found was when I turn on and off the lights, it jiggles a little bit, even though I'm not causing it to jiggle. I guess that's just the power, the current of it, for whatever reason, causes the magnet to wiggle around. And one thing I noticed when I did this yesterday, it stopped and then it started going the other way. So I imagine it can spin either way. You'll notice that it doesn't, like the Earth, it's a globe. It's originally a globe. So like the Earth, it sits on a slight tilt. The axis of the Earth is tilted. So it's the same way here. So it's not going to be exactly straight up and down, but it is cool. So let me, well, you saw that it floats. Let's see here. Let me see if I can show you guys a little bit more angle here. Just bear with me for a second. Now you can see. You can see under it. And there you go. And see, it just stopped, but now it's going to go the other way. And I wonder what'll happen if I turn the lights on. Anyway, that's it. That's pretty much it. Good luck with getting it set up, Nick, and all you guys who have gotten one of these from Trent. I will not be selling these. This is not my product to sell. This is just a one-off for a friend, and then I'll be doing one for myself. Trent is the man. It's Trooper Trent on the RPF. This is who you want to go to. He has a limited run that he's going to be doing. He'll be doing them as long as I guess he can stomach doing them. They're a lot of work, especially with filling the seam around the equator. It's a lot of work. They look deceptively simple, but they are a lot of work. So he'll be doing them, I guess, as he can, fulfilling requests to build them, and that's who you need to go to. The RPF, Trooper Trent. Look in the active projects or run thread under the classified section. He also has a build thread in the main Star Wars costume and props area. Just look for his Trooper Trent, and it's also, I think it's Real Hovering Remote or something like that. Just search for those key terms and you should be able to find it. So that's it, guys. Thanks for looking.